What's up, guys? Blade Show 2021. I have the privilege of sitting down here with Chuck Gedraitis. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
I'm so glad we were able to sit down with you. So we've kind of gone over a little bit of the knives. He's shown me what he has on the table, and this video should be insane. If you guys don't know who Chuck Gedraitis is, you guys need to get on Google and Google that stuff. This guy is the OG. He is one of the OGs, and he makes insane stuff. Are you ready to start? I want to see some of this stuff.
I'm happy to show you some of this
Awesome.
stuff.
Chuck,
right.
Take it, man.
So, this is a Swiss Army Switchblade. It's inspired by the classic Swiss Army knife.
Right.
And for years, people have talked about trying to convert the original ones to automatics. But unfortunately, there's no room inside for a spring.
Right.
So I sat down and I drew up a design, hoping that would work. And it basically turned into this. This is a scale release automatic, single action. This one in particular has silver twill scales with orange G10 liners and an orange G. And I put my last initial G on it, like a shield that most traditional knives have. But this one is special because if you swivel the top scale to the right, it opens as an automatic.
You guys have to know how cool this is. I'm not joking. I've never seen anything like this. And Chuck makes the coolest stuff. Dude, the tolerances, the materials. I am fanboying out right now. And I feel like I just met you, man. But, oh, dude, these things are so cool, man.
They also come with the toothpick and tweezers, just like a traditional.
Yeah, you were showing me that, dude. The toothpick back here, the tweezers. This is beautiful.
Thank you. I make it in a couple different versions with a clip point blade or the traditional Swiss Army style spear point blade.
Okay, I like that. Hey, man, that is gorgeous. I love the silver twill, by the way. I think that is a hot touch.
So this one is the next generation of the Swiss Army Switchblade. It's based off of an old English design or a Hubertus design, who also make automatics.
Okay.
This one has two blades. It has a bottle opener and screwdriver / pry bar tip, which is also locks open as a liner lock.
Nice.
But to release the main blade, you actually push down on the tool to release the main blade. And that's also a liner lock.
I'm a little speechless because honestly, I have not seen anybody doing this kind of stuff so well. You know what I mean?
I don't know if anybody's done anything like this. And this kind of a nostalgic.
That's why you're Chuck Gedraitis. You know what I mean? Dang. Guys, this thing is next level cool. 100%. Plus, who doesn't love a bottle opener, pry bar, screwdriver that is thick enough to actually use?
Absolutely.
Right?
That's why I made it that way. It's fully hardened, just like the blade steel.
I love it.
It's made to be used.
Dude, you gotta get in close on this, Carson. Check us out. This is so cool, dude.
The fun part is to hand it to someone
and say,
hey, look,
open it.
Try to open it, and they start pulling on the blade. And you go, look, it's not so hard. And they say, how'd you do that?
How'd you do that?
Say, well, you know, I could tell you, but I don't want to.
I love it.
All right. So now, this is a custom latch release New England style automatic.
Okay.
That I used to make a lot of these, and I decided that going forward, I'm going to concentrate on building more automatics. So this one has a stainless Damascus blade, Damascus bolsters and ivory G10 scales, and file work on the liners, on the backspacer, Damascus latch with a Damascus inlay in that as well. He colored all the screws, but a lot of attention to detail in a knife like this.
Guys, when he's talking about the file work, this is all by hand. None of this is, he is sitting there with hand tools carving this through.
Hand files, and then you wrap sandpaper around each file to polish each of the cuts that you made with the file.
I like that. And man, this thing, all the way in here. He's got his signature back in there, all the way in the back. I love the small detail, but it blows my mind that someone out there has this skill to be able to do this by hand and have it be so perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it is beautiful. It matches mirrored image side by side. The handwork on there that you've been doing.
I enjoy doing it. It's almost a Zen-like experience when you're in the zone and you're file working. And I used to draw it out, lay it out on the knife, and most of the time now I just kind of just start and just let it freeform and follow the shape of the knife and just let it go with it. And so sometimes it mirrors itself. Sometimes I frame the spacer, which is more subtle file work, and put more detail into the liners. So that way, one part of the knife isn't too busy.
I like that.
So to get even fancier now.
This one's cool, guys.
One step up is this. This is my Kanto, which is inspired after a Chilean mythical bird that had glowing eyes and glowing feathers. And when I designed this and drew it out, it lended itself to this design to look like a bird or an eagle, if you will.
Right.
So this is also an automatic. It has a forged to shape Turkish twist Damascus blade, so the pattern follows the shape of the blade all the way up to the point.
Okay, so for you guys who are not following along, if you pay attention to this blade, the Damascus, instead of just going straight and falling off, it legitimately is forged to curve up along the side. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
This is beautiful stuff.
Damascus front and rear bolsters, Damascus latch, ancient mammoth ivory scales, and then fully file worked and anodized. You know, things like these art knives, a lot of planning goes into them.
Dude.
Just for screw placement, whereas the eye is the pivot screw on this knife, and then the only other screws are shown hold the scales in. So all the other screws are hidden underneath to give it a clean look.
It's art. You really are an artist. That's really what it comes down to.
It is. It's pocket art.
Handcrafted. So much attention to detail.
And one of a kind.
One of a kind.
I won't make another one just like
and you are doing stuff that nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Guys, I'm going to just hold this and let Carson get some B-roll of this just real quick. The details on this are insane. Holy cow. Man, I'm impressed. I really am so impressed at the hand tool, man. Guys, this is art. If you can, pause the video, zoom in on your screen, check this thing out. I feel a little nervous holding them. I'm like, dang, dude.
I'm glad you haven't dropped
It's like the Mona Lisa's up in here.
And then last but not least, this is a custom version of my pocket Snatcher. So this was inspired by the Applegate Fairbane fixed blade Snatcher. And I had done some research and looked around, and no one that I could find had ever done a folding version of it. So I sat down and drew it up and designed it, and it was bigger and wider and different than anything else that I'm used to making.
Right.
But you know, once you got it in hand, it was pretty awesome.
Oh, it's so solid.
It's a little menacing. It's basically a pocket sword.
Right. So we actually just got a handful of these, not the custom,
Correct.
but a handful of these in at Blade HQ, and I was able to take photos of them, handle them a little bit. At first I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then I freaking opened it and put it in my hand, and I was like, dang, dude, this thing's ready to go to battle.
Right.
It really is. Man. So, okay. Before we started, I was asking him about some of the texture here on the liners and on the pocket clips.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe you can explain again to me the process of getting the orange peel?
It's called an orange peel finish.
Okay.
And it's done a couple of different ways, but the most common way is with a wire wheel. So when you take titanium, which is fairly soft and gummy, and hold it against a wire wheel, it raises a texture on it, which makes it non-slip and adds a visual textural element to your knife.
Right.
So you can also heat color it afterwards, which is what I did on
Like
the
this.
clip here. For contrast, I heat colored the thumb disc, CPM 154 blade that's been blackened, and green canvas micarta scales, black G10 spacer. And so this particular knife is the one that was used and sent to Germany, drawn up in CAD, as the model for the pocket Snatcher that is available through Blade HQ. And it comes in 4 different configurations.
So cool. Seriously, so cool. That micarta. I'm a micarta guy, man. That is solid.
This has been handled quite a bit, so it's got oils from your fingers.
Right. Yeah, I like that. And I honestly, I like how you've got the milling here, right? And the micarta in there is pretty fresh.
Still fresh.
Still super fresh. It gives it a cool color contrast.
So on the original fixed blade versions, they did have similar milling on the scales for added grip. And so I paid homage to them and tried to incorporate the same similar style of milling in the hands.
I really love it. Guys, Chuck is an artist. If you legitimately do not know who Chuck is, I'm telling you, his stuff is insane, guys. Dude, what you're doing is it's so exciting for me, you know? Because, I mean, we sell a lot of knives at Blade HQ.
We do.
And I get to handle a lot of knives at Blade HQ. But I rarely get to handle this kind of stuff with the designer, with the maker who does this handmade art. It's folding art.
I'm so passionate about it. Like, I love doing it. Just like they say, if you do something you love, you've never worked a day in your life.
Right.
And I feel the same way. That every day I'm just ready to go into my shop and just build something. And sometimes I'll put something aside and come back to it and think about it and move on to something else. Or I'll be inspired by something like here at the Blade Show, inspired by other makers and other materials that I've seen, and be ready to go home and work on that next knife and that next design and come up with something cool that I hope people will like.
Right before we started, I was like, man, it'll be nice to, after the show, go and decompress. And he's like, no, I'm ready to go get in the shop and build. He's like, I'm inspired, I'm ready. He's on fire, man.
Absolutely.
Dude, Chuck, thank you for being on here.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing, amazing work. I feel a little weird because I'm totally fanboying out right now. Like, yeah, anyway. Yeah, great video, man. Awesome knives. Check out Chuck's stuff, guys. Excellent, excellent work.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. All right, guys, Blade Show 2021, that's a wrap. Make sure you jump over, check out the playlist, hit the website if you want to buy some knives, and we will catch you on the next one.